Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
No. Davis from the top rope. I like it. Extra point from McManus is good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Jones now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Slam. Travel.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. And this is caught by Watkins. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones, and he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And can you believe this? A big mistake leads to a defensive touchdown. And they're a point away from tying this thing up. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
Hard. You better be ready. General West. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Chopper! Get it!
They'll go to Barkley again. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
6-6, pull it high. Check 9. Shoot!
On 3rd down, Barkley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Jones operating from the gun and going deep for Hill. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill in the final minute. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
We got this. At their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences.
And got his man, complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. 56 the Mike, boys. 56. Check it out. Watch the right. Watch the right.
Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
That's track. Hey, switch gears. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Switch.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Check. Fresno.
He'll look to throw. He's his man on the crossing route. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one led them to victory.
So for the Chiefs, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, it's a slip-up that could cost them as they drop now to 12-3. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
I just got bags from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter when they come to handles.